across the street.
Test.
Anyway,
We'll talk after. Yeah. Because now I'm.
Have her give us her Zoom.
Colleen, can you hear us on Zoom?
Yes, loud and clear.
Good.
It's good
I don't
enough.
hear any of
happy
them.
late birthday.
Yeah.
Then you didn't hear any
Happy
echo?
birthday.
No,
No.
no.
Can we get that spatial?
Oops.
Okay, we have a quorum now, so.
No noise?
Email from you?
She has not let me know that she wasn't coming, but
When's the last time she's posted?
One more and she's out.
She might already be at that point. I will give her at least another minute or two. That is the only reason why I'm delaying.
do you mind texting her?
No, no.
Really, it's not because you're setting up your.
Yeah.
Text her.
All right. We ready to roll, folks?
Absolutely.
All right. I call this Clearlake Marketing Committee meeting to order. Madam Clerk, can I get a roll call?
Okay. Joe Mingori, a member, Chamber Representative,
Here.
Vice Chair Codling.
Here.
And Chair Clappy.
Here.
And we have a vacancy. Susan Bloomquist has resigned from the Marketing Committee and Member Overton is absent.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. All right, let's open up public comment. All items on the agenda will be open for public comments before final action is taken. Citizens wishing to introduce written material into the record at the public meeting on any item are requested to provide a copy to the city clerk prior to the meeting date so that the material may be distributed to the committee prior to the meeting. Speakers must restrict their comment to the item as it appears on the agenda and stay within a 3-minute time limit. The chair has the discretion of limiting the total discussion time for an item. As a courtesy to others, please turn off cell phones and other distracting devices. So if any member of the public would like to make a comment about something that's not on the agenda at this time, please raise your hand in the Zoom room.
There are no hands raised in the Zoom, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any folks in? Any folks here that would like to make a comment? Okay, we're moving on. All right. Item number 1. Oh, you can make a comment at any time you'd like.
I didn't know if we had begun the process of filling Susan's position or not, but I did talk to Kendall Foltz, owner of Foltz Family Vineyards, and he may be interested in, and I think he would be an excellent member.
Is Kendall a Clear Lake resident?
Yeah, he lives, well,
No,
and the wineries that technically, well,
That was the problem with Krista as well, is that she lives out on some.
okay, I was not even thinking about that.
No.
Okay, I'll let him know.
I'll make a comment too. I want to say, Tina, thank you. You worked very hard at that soapbox derby.
Thank you.
It was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Good job.
Glad everybody had fun.
I'm glad Ellen didn't win. That was the big takeaway.
Thank you for saying what we all were thinking. And actually, is there like a debrief to discuss some of the things that we could do differently? Is that something that's on the agenda?
It's actually after this meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wonderful.
May I publicly express myself on that just real quick?
Please.
I think that what's awesome is the vehicles we get. I mean, there was some amazing effort in making the vehicles. What I found unfortunate, though awesome and fun, is that it was a lot of staff that had their vehicles that looked really good. And I think that you need to separate staff. Go ahead and give them a prize if you want, but let's get the public more involved in getting awards and things like that. Because if it goes to Alan and Andrew as the top tiered cars, it looks kind of awkward that other people put in their vehicles from outside of the city. I think that staff and employees, I mean, a lot of times you see if you're a part of this company, then you're not eligible to play. I don't want to do that, but I think maybe separating it out so that there's a staff award and then there's a public award as
Well, I
well.
think staff could be, but I'll add to that. The two things I heard from individuals that were there is the kit cars by almost always were winning over the handmade cars, and maybe having two categories, kit car versus homemade. Because most all the staff had kit cars and the public had homemade. So it's just a thought. And that would eliminate it. That way you're not putting in them against us type of thing.
And I think that one's rough too, because there's different types of kits, like the kits that CPD put together for the kids was
Those are
definitely
kits.
slower
Yeah.
than the other kits, like Andrew and Alan had those special wheels that were definitely made for going faster. I think that one's tough, and I think the competition just needs to be fun and not, super competition type of thing. But when the city keeps winning and winning and winning, which again is amazing to see the participation, but that could be a turnoff from the public to want to participate, where it just becomes a city employee event rather than a public event. You got to reward the public for coming, participating, and being a part of it. That's my only issue that I saw and wanted to make sure and bring back to that team. Other than that, it was absolutely a blast, and we got lucky. It was a beautiful day.
Mhm.
It really was, yeah.
Well, excellent. Staff can take that public comment under advisement and we'll move forward. Reminds me a lot of F1. There's a new Netflix documentary where like Ferrari just spends millions and millions of dollars and they win every race. So,
That's Ferrari.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to item number one, content. So I have three projects that are outstanding here. One, just an update on the augmented reality for Anderson Marsh. How's that coming?
I have not moved that forward. I'm not sure if I'll be able to move that forward. We've allocated our cannabis tax to some very specific things, and I don't think it's the right time to approach that project. I think that project needs to be approached with me working more with Clark Maccabee and look at it from a museum perspective, and maybe even starting at the schoolhouse rather than over at the Anderson Marsh. But I think that we're looking at some pretty large projects with some of our cannabis tax stuff, and I want to make sure that the money's allocated first before I start bringing some other large build projects like that. But I still think it would be an amazing project.
Okay. And you're just looking to do augmented reality then? It doesn't specifically have to target Anderson Marsh as a topic area?
I mean, I'd love to bring something that's a unique destination for people to come here and live through our history rather than read or look at artifacts of our history. I think the idea of bringing it to life is possible right now. And if we can, that would be freaking amazing.
All right, I'll take this off. I'll put it in the,
Back burner category.
yeah. All right,
Wait, I'm sorry, which spreadsheet are you looking at right now? The content,
yes.
which item was that?
That was the augmented reality Anderson Marsh project.
I don't think I have an updated spreadsheet then.
Okay,
Okay,
I'll update you.
no worries.
Sorry.
Thank you.
that's my fault. All right, The next content item, the business and tourism map refresh. And Joan, I think you were taking the lead on that.
I haven't gotten the prices for printing yet. I've already started promoting it. My husband did and I should have brought the map, I'm sorry. It looks good. It's a map that we designed in the inside of our visitor. Only this will be running about 11 by 24 ads on the running around the side, and then logo ads on the map. So they're readable and see. No streets. This is just other than the highways, major roadways, like Olympic and stuff, but not all the cross streets. Too many people can use Google. What we're finding that people coming in the chamber, they want a map they can grab to go around the lake and what's there, the wineries, hiking trails, where I can fish offshore, where are all the parks. So that's the type of map we're putting together. On the back, and I want it to be a yearly event type of map, we're going to have a full year calendar of events on the back with ads running around it. So each year we'll resell ads. The map will stay the same, and just ads will take a place in the new calendar on the back.
What is your deadline for the event
It will be
calendar?
done by January 1st.
Well, so my question is, when do you need a list of those events?
I'm starting to send out that information here in the next couple days. So you might be seeing me sending out. And I'm not going to be listing events like, Lakeshore Lioness, we do the March dinner. I'm not listing things like that.
Yep.
It's going to be major events, your concerts, the soapbox derby, those type of events. The rodeo, obviously, 4th of July, anything that brings in larger crowds are the type of things that I'm looking at
And
covering.
what's your publication deadline for those events in particular?
I need to have that information by mid-December, because that'll be the last thing going on the map.
Okay.
Have you made a good connection with Laura, I believe is her name, over at Chamber of Commerce?
She came to our meeting. I missed her meeting today. They have a meeting today. It's not only during this time, but also I have Lakeshore Lioness right directly after this, so I'm missing her meeting, sadly. But a good working relationship I have with the Lake County Chamber. I believe it's going to be a very positive, not to knock anything with Melissa, but it's kind of like we're moving forward. Let's pass all the old baggage and move on and look at a good working relationship. So I'm very
Lots of
hopeful.
opportunities with you people.
Yeah.
So for the ads on the map in particular, do you have a package set up? Have you sent out? You said you already started promoting it.
I'm already been talking to businesses about it because I've been doing a few things and asking if they're interested. As soon as I get prices on it, I was going to get back to them. Right now I've just finished, and I didn't bring those too. We just did the magnet for the Chamber of Commerce. I'm also working on the newcomer book, which we're going to be selling ads around the book. And so putting all that together has been taking a little bit more time, plus going out and renewing my memberships and talking to people. It seems like I'm constantly on the run.
Did you give out a lot of the magnets at the soapbox derby? Or
We did not have a lot of people come up to our booth. It's sad. I had the chamber booth set up in our booth, and I gave a few the things out that I handed to people, but we didn't have anybody come by our booth.
Yeah, I kind of looked, I saw across the way,
Yeah.
and I think it was just because people were interested in the race. They were not thinking about going, I mean, even the food vendors, I think, probably.
Well, that's another, I think if I knew there were that many food vendors, I probably wouldn't have gone to the effort. By the time I paid my health permit, I lost money,
Yeah.
because the health permit was so much money. And then we had to buy all the stuff to include, I have a question on that. They're telling me I have to enclose my booth totally, but I go down the street in Clearlake and all these little Hispanic vendors have open air booths. But I have to have a health permit, pay the $232, and I have to have an enclosed booth. wait a second, something isn't working here, you know? Anyway, that's another subject.
So with the ads in particular, when you put together that package, are you gonna distribute it? We can certainly help spread the word.
Yes, I will definitely. It's going to be done within the next few days.
Okay, and how many ads are you looking to sell?
I'm hoping that at least 50, if not more.
Okay. So other than spreading the word on collecting events and of course getting business, you obviously have the chamber network that you'll reach out to, but
But
sure
I'm
you'll
going to
reach out.
actually go to other locations. That's where I've already started, is talking to people that aren't even chamber members on this, because it's not just chamber. I want to make sure, like I said, from having the number of visitors that we've had come in, it's amazing. Most of them are older. They don't use Google Maps. They want something in their hand. We had a lady in today, same thing. It sounded like she was Swedish and wanted a map. I kind of gather they want to see the area because they don't have a visual, like if you could look down on a Google aerial, you can kind of see it's a map, but a lake, but they don't know what the terrain is really like. And so at least on a map, they can kind of know there's a road around or there isn't a road around. I can't do this. I can't. So that's why I think the map's going to be very important, and it's in a fun map. That's kind of the way my husband drew it out, and I'm sorry I didn't bring it. It's a fun looking map.
Okay, we'll see it next month.
Yeah.
Do you need any support on anything, any help?
Not right now, but I will definitely, David, send you all the information when I have it, with the prices and everything, and we'll get it to you. The only thing I would suggest is that any of your events, get them to me as soon as you can.
Mhm.
And to get that out, is if you have an event, I'd like to get it on the calendar. And it might, I'm trying to think of a way of doing that. I use Google Calendar 31. If maybe the chamber can set up we have a Google Calendar on our webpage, but I don't know if I can share that with anybody, or if I have to find out from Google if I could create that Calendar 31. Do you ever use that? Well, it's wonderful. I share it between myself and all my friends, and so everybody knows my schedule when they go on because I've shared it. So I don't know if that's something I can share with the city and share with the county chamber, and every time we have an event or with the visitor bureau, we all share the same calendar. Because that's been an issue that I've noticed that with the tourist board and the Lake County Chamber and our chamber, we're not cooperative on calendars. And so that's got to be something we talk about. That is a shared calendar.
All right, I will put that down. Something worth chatting about. All right, last thing in content is the photo contest. We had a deadline a couple of days ago.
We did. And I've got the pictures to discuss,
Ooh.
but I've got to go get them off of my desk. So I'll be right back.
All right, we're gonna table that for the moment. We'll move on to business item number 2 while she does that. Business item number 2, discussion. Oh, actually, before we do that, any other content projects that anyone's working on, anyone wants to bring up or talk about?
Two things that you asked me to do as a city was to try to light up town. So we have working with businesses, coordinating it, just not in our town. Clearlake Oaks, Clearlake, and Lower Lake. And what we're doing is I've networked with Becky Slaughter and the schools. We're going to have the kids have Halloween posters, and I'm getting right now lists of businesses that will allow me to put the children's posters up. We're going to get in, this committee might be the good judging committee. We're going to judge the posters, and then I have businesses that are putting up prizes. And then we'll have prizes for age group. And for the younger groups, they might be a class project, especially the kids that are doing online schooling. It might be where they, as a class project, do an artwork together. And I will pick up the posters. I will put them in the businesses form, and then we'll judge them. And the kids will be notified where the posters are. So I'm hoping that it'll bring the kids and the parents to businesses. And then I've asked the businesses that are participating at that they decorate for Halloween. So at the same time, I will share with you, sadly, I found out why last year several businesses had Halloween out and then disappeared instantly. Theft in town was horrible, I guess, last year. Highlands Water had every piece of their Halloween stuff stolen in one night. Same thing with Lakeshore Feed. So they're hesitant now of putting anything out that can be stolen. What was the other business that said they had everything stolen? And it all happened, I guess, in 1 or 2 nights. They just went down Lakeshore Drive stealing anything they could get their hands on. And so I don't know, sadly, I don't know how we can address that issue. We can't. I just told them, well, if you're going to do it where they can't get to the item, maybe inside the store, whatever, but let's try to get the town lit up. So far, the business response has been great. But like I said, I've heard that was what happened last year. I think you were the one that was saying it was kind of sad. I tried to get everybody to do it. They wouldn't do it. Apparently, Highlands Water, she told me the day they put it out, it got stolen that night. That's why it didn't show that they had anything out. Yeah. So anyways, that's what I'm working on.
Okay.
So with that, I'm going to ask you a question. People keep asking me if we're getting banners on the light poles.
So I talked with Alan about that last week. So right now we're going through a redesign for our city brand. And this is going to tie into the light pole banners. So we want to replicate that design on our banners. So it's coming. It's just.
So we're not going to have anything for Christmas. That's what I'm getting asked. There's nothing for Halloween, nothing for Christmas.
I don't think we need banners for Christmas. I mean, even if we had those, I mean, you see sometimes off the light post, it's like a nice little candle that comes up. It's a
They're
nice little
very
wreath.
expensive.
But it doesn't have to be a specific banner with something specific. It could just be
No.
something
Oh, no.
that's Halloween related.
Halloween or
Yeah.
Christmas, that they're asking for, they're saying if we're putting up stuff, why isn't the city putting up stuff? So I'm telling you the comments I've been getting.
All right, let's when we get to beautification, next agenda item, let's talk about that. We'll make that a point for Halloween and Christmas, because if we don't have the banners, we had talked about this last year, just doing bows, right?
Yeah.
Things like that. So photo contest.
Okay, so we had the photo contest begin in midsummer, and we ran it through the 12th of September. And part of that was the 200, 150, and 100, I want to say, monetary prize, with the premises that the judgment would take place at the state of the city.
Mhm.
In talking with Alan, we unfortunately are going to be canceling our state of the city this year. And hopefully we'll maybe have it at another time, like we were talking, maybe spring or maybe a little bit later at a different time, right, Tina? Yeah. So with that, we have to kind of rethink our pictures. And so the thought is we would have judgment on Facebook. Judgment, like a thumbs up
I thought
on
about that when you said
Facebook
it.
likes and things like that. So what I'd like to do is, because there are so many entries right now, I'd like to go through them and kind of maybe narrow them down, because one, there's many pictures that aren't recognizably Clearlake, which was part of the criteria for the photos. And two, there may be some photos in there that we may not feel represent living the lake life, which is the second criteria. So I can share my screen and we can do a slideshow. And we can just run through them. There are many entries. So I think, I'm not sure really the best way to do it, but if you, we haven't numbered them, but if you see one, just kind of take a note.
See one we don't want or one we want?
I think there will be many that we can exclude.
Okay.
If you have favorites, then make a note of them. How's that? Does that make sense?
Yes.
How many pictures did you get?
Probably about 35,
Oh, that's not
40.
I thought it was a huge number.
Oh, okay. Hold up, hold up. My slideshow is going, but it's not
Yeah, you
going.
didn't share your slideshow.
Okay. I'll share. New share. I'm sorry. Let me try to figure this out.
While you're doing that, Dave, would you mind if I just spoke real quick? Because I do need to leave in 2 minutes.
Yeah, go for it.
About the fish farms.
What?
The statute?
Yeah, the statues of the fish. So as we all know, the one is already up in Austin Park. The second one, there is a spot specifically built out for it on the beach side of Austin Park. We were waiting for brackets. The brackets were on back order because every supply chain is kind of screwed right now. I believe we should have gotten those brackets already. It's a matter of just getting Public Works in time. And I know they're working on a lot of projects right now. But the fish is in the hands of the city. And then there's still 2 more fish, and I just need to reach out back to the RAI and check out what's the status of those fish. I had hoped they would be done by Memorial Day weekend, but all we had was 2 of them that were done by then. So the city's still working on getting 1 installed, and there's still 2 more that have already been paid for. It's just about getting them done and brought in. And again, those are for Highlands Park, which may not get placed until Highlands Park is done and upgraded. It might just get placed right here in City Hall until then. And then the last one, the 4th one, will be in Redbud Park, and that's an easy find for where it's going to go, probably on the grass area alongside where the docks are, or where the docks are.
Excellent.
So still working on that.
Exciting.
A little slower than anticipated.
And where did we, I know you and I had talked about the picture frame. That's still going to happen, do you think?
Picture frame, I need to get back to Alan. We were waiting for that whole thing to finish on the beach side.
Yeah,
Pretty much
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
So let me talk to them. I haven't talked to them since they finished that.
yeah, looks great.
No, it looks amazing. That's
Yeah.
a
And the
really,
exercise equipment.
it's a really good standard, what was created on the beach side that I hope we can mimic and bring over to the rest of Austin Park. Because if both sides of the street look that appealing,
Yeah.
I think we got something amazing.
Okay. Okay. I think I've got it. Let me see if I can show.
Just to put a bug in your ear as well, I think marketing is a very broad term, and I don't know how involved the city can get.
Oh.
But I would really
that is
love to
cute.
see if maybe the
Very
marketing
cute.
committee can be involved in vacant commercial lots here in the city of Clearlake. Figure out how to market that to the Bay Area, how to market that to other areas, because I think part of marketing is finding investors as well as creating events to attract people here. But I know that's a plan that I'm going to work on over in the Clear Lake Oaks area with a new program that I just helped create.
Really?
And so I want to see,
So I'm working on
Those
something with that one
cones
right
could be
now.
corrected.
But we haven't determined if
I don't
retail
have that.
investment is going to be
I don't have that ability.
the topic area. But
Yeah, it's too
could do
bad.
some,
It's too bad.
I'm going to loop you in on it.
Yeah.
It's a great picture.
It is cute. the twins.
First to.
So if you'll notice up on the top
what we
left,
can do.
Lakeview.
Let's talk about it. Yeah. All right, so we're going through this.
I'm gonna go.
Thank you, Bruno. Sorry for the pictures. I want to see
Oh, so you have them named.
Yeah, Lakeview Kids on Swing. So if you want
Yeah.
to just take, so my goal is to narrow it down to probably about the top 10, you think? But I would leave that up to the.
I can
obviously.
Photoshop that so that they're actually giving each other a high five.
It is.
I mean, we could probably crop out.
That is-
I was gonna
Well,
say,
no, no,
crop
no.
out the cones.
It's as
It's a-
submitted.
I think it's awesome.
I
I think
mean,
it's a great
if we want to
picture.
create derivative products from it, that's fine, but for the,
A coffee cup.
yeah, for the sake of the photo contest, it's as submitted as viewed by the
Bye,
artist.
Bruno. Okay,
Okay.
I finally figured it out. Okay, so.
Oh,
And for, oops. Oh, whoa, what
Not that
happened
fast of a
here?
typer,
What happened
unfortunately.
here? What happened? Oh my
Going fast.
goodness. I don't know what happened. My apologies. Okay, so the problem with something like this, while it's pretty,
It's
if we
dark.
tried to blow it up, it would not come out very
well,
good.
it's also been photoshopped. They took the colors and black. I can do the same thing. And
Oh,
You took what?
okay.
it's not it's not a true picture. It's called spec.
They did some sort of.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
That one's
Go a little bit slower. 'cause I'm
Okay,
trying to
my
catalyze-
apologies.
Categorize here.
My apologies. Would you like me to go back?
No, I think I've kept pace.
Ready?
Yeah. See, that's the same. That's
It's
kind
the
of
same picture.
same one. They
just-
just
yeah.
did that.
What do you think they did to that one?
You go into
So-
photo, you don't do it on this, but you can't do it on this particular program, but there's another program where you can go in, and I've done it too, where I call it caramelizing, where you can take your picture and block out certain colors or enlighten certain colors. It's like a reversal.
Oh,
I took a sunset picture and did that, and I thought it was awesome. My husband goes, oh, yeah.
I don't see that as being, like, this isn't huge manipulation. I think adjusting levels in color, this is just my perspective. You guys can select as you see fit, but, selecting, tweaking and adjusting some of the levels, I think is okay. We just don't want to see photoshops of kids being merged together. To hide
Right,
that.
right.
Well, it's the same picture as the one previous
Right.
before it.
Well, one's a night shot, right? So it's like hopefully a long exposure. Do we have color versus black and white categories? Or
No,
they all
this
the
was
same?
one category, living the lake life, recognizably Clearlake, but where is this?
It looks like it's at Lucerne. Looking
Ooh.
across.
What's
Ooh.
BW?
Black and white.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
It looks like Lucerne to me.
Oh, well then let's take it off because it's not Clear Lake.
I'm sorry.
But
Oh
it's
my God.
Super cute, but
Oh, super cute dog.
kind of try to,
The lake's not green.
too fast, just good. If you need me to go back, just let me know.
I like
Because
the
there's a
hummingbird.
lot. Pretty.
Oh, gosh, the osprey. Great picture, though.
Mhm.
Zoom.
Oh, my gosh, they got a good picture of the osprey. That's like the hawk.
It does look like a hawk.
How's your osprey?
That bird's living the lake life right there.
Yeah.
I think
Did
you
I
skipped
skip
one.
one?
Yeah.
There we go. So sensitive. pretty. But where
Looks
is
like
it?
Lakeport looking.
It
back,
does.
Maybe.
Yeah, it does look like Lakeport, huh?
Yeah, some of them I personally couldn't tell because I don't know all of the perspectives all the way around the lake, but there's a lot of hidden.
A lot of people park their sailboats in Lakeport.
How pretty is that?
Oh, that
though?
one is beautiful. Yeah.
But where in Clear Lake is that?
Yeah, it's not Clear Lake. It's probably. in
It's a
Lakeport.
gorgeous picture.
We don't ask them where they take the.
I feel like this is right by the spot.
If we have a,
That's that big ramp going down the spot.
Oh, wait, I haven't.
Wait, can you go back to the one before?
looks like the same perspective.
Yeah, it does. And then go to the next one. The one that you just showed.
No, taken by the same person,
Yeah.
so.
So
maybe
not
it is,
that.
it's the same person, but
Unless it's one of the waterfront restaurants in another town, but
it could be the
Those-
boathouse.
spot has a big ramp, like at a big
Yeah.
incline
Yeah,
going
but it
down.
doesn't-
Yeah, their gate
does
is
have a boat
different though,
ramp
I
there.
think.
Yeah, but the thing with the spot is there's also a lot of tulies.
Tulies.
Around,
No,
yeah.
you're right, you're
Yeah,
right.
and
that's not-
if you
pretty sure
notice,
it's a
there's
skyline.
concrete underneath and they don't have that at the spot.
Gorgeous picture though.
I think that's a
Yeah.
Skylark. on
You know
there,
what?
right?
That's Lakeport.
That's a
That's the boat ramp at Lakeport.
gorgeous picture.
It's kind of like playing detective at some of them.
Yeah, and that's again Lakeport.
Mhm.
Good pictures though. I like the fishing.
So this one is not distinctly Lakeport, right? Like, it could be, it could not be.
Right.
I mean, it is big lake, huh?
It is a big lake, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it is. I'm just wondering if we could sneak one of these in,
That's
just because this one
that's-
is kind of nondescript.
a really good picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like someone will recognize where it is.
Yeah.
This one's super cute.
But is it the lake life?
Well, that's our Austin,
Yeah. That's a
Bathroom.
park bathroom. Well, yeah. Mural.
There's a winner, folks.
I don't think I. That's why I have
I
picture.
mean, did you see the name of it?
Fish good.
Fish good.
Oh, that's cute though, with the lake in the back.
Yeah, this person, when they sent it in though, did say that it was the county park, I think at Kelseyville
Yeah.
or Finley, somewhere
Yeah.
around there.
cute little baby though.
Yep. Oh, I like that one too, just because it's fishing on the lake, boating.
Yep. Lake doggy. See that one?
Yeah,
That could be like,
that's ours. Because this cob to the left.
Oh, maybe the Oaks.
does it have to be Clear Lake
That looks like
or?
the
Has to be
Rainier.
Oh, it has to be Clear Lake. okay.
Recognizably Clear Lake.
Yeah, I think that's probably Ribbon. Or the spot.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, that's a good picture. Not sure that's Clear Lake though.
That is Clear Lake because of the mountain. Look where it's at.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah, I like that. This is the wakeboarder at sunset.
Wakeboarding sunset. That's the Oaks.
Yeah, that's not. Great picture.
Pretty.
That's over by along Highway 20. I think.
Oh, doggone it.
Oh, I like the wine. Now,
I
go
know.
back to that wine. I actually have to tell you, I like that picture. Living the lake life. Unfortunately for his
confirm-
feet.
Yeah. I did confirm this was taken out off the gooseneck area.
Yeah,
Well, you can see
yeah, it's
the
Clearlake.
point right there.
But yeah, I don't think you want pictures of people's feet in there. It's up to you.
Although
That's
that could
fine.
certainly be the lake life.
Yeah.
Adult division.
I think that's like putting in, right, with that last one? Or are we just
Mhm.
getting the mountain wrong?
And
Gotta be, right?
yeah, that's like.
Yeah.
The same dock as the one before,
Mhm.
too.
I agree.
That is off of, that looks like it's off of the gooseneck area.
It was blurry.
I think if you blew that one up,
Sorry.
Yeah.
I think if you were to blow that one up, it would get cloudy or
No,
not
you're right.
clear.
Well, here's the thing, he's blurry, but the birds
But
look to be in focus. So
Yeah,
if
the
it's just a
focus is the
perspective
birds.
shot.
Yeah, except for you're trying to promote, I don't know, good camera, you would have them both in focus.
Well, put your votes in, folks.
That looks like Lakeport again, I'm sorry.
Colleen has a question. Colleen, you have a question? Comment? You can unmute yourself.
Okay, now can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Hey, Colleen.
My question is that what I see on Facebook, it did not specify that the photos had to be from Clearlake. And I'm the city. And I didn't know if your paperwork maybe might have mentioned something, but I just want to make sure that you know that it was not on your Facebook page.
The Facebook linked to the website page, and on the website page, it lists our regulations and our requirements for size and everything.
Okay, good. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Are you making notes too, Colleen?
Yes.
Okay. All right, this is Adams.
Oh, wow.
Joshua Adams. Isn't that a great shot?
I was gonna say, yeah.
Oh, I like that one better.
Oh, Dad, burn it. I apologize. Okay.
I feel like we have more than 40. We have a lot, huh?
Maybe I'm.
Ooh, that's pretty. I like that one too.
This one will not blow up very well, though, I can tell you.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Neither will this one.
Looks
Well,
like a screenshot.
Clouds are beautiful. Oh,
This
that's
one
neat.
won't. The ones that are like this, they won't blow up very well. It's pretty. For sure. Anyone know where this is?
I'm gonna guess that looks like it's above Glen Haven. Except for, you know
That's
what,
the
that,
venue.
no, that could be, is that the, oh, that's
Lower-
the Clearlake Park. That's the Cove in Clearlake Park, Fitz's place on the corner. The mobile home there, I got, yeah, that's the Cove at Clearlake Park. Boy, he doesn't look happy.
Have a lot of landscapes.
No, if you go, can you go back? Sorry.
You know, that's a nice collage.
That should be Austin, right?
Yeah, this one says Austin Park Waterfront. It's our Austin resort.
If it was like lighter, it would be a good picture. I think if we blow it up, it wouldn't work.
That one, just as it is actually a nice collage.
Yeah. The larger picture of Canocti.
Wrong view,
Mhm.
but
Some of them, like the one in the lower right,
That's kind of an interesting picture. I
and
mean,
then there's Borax Lake on the lower left, right?
it looks like borax.
Mhm.
But it is a nice collage. It
Yeah.
still is.
yeah,
We got lots of nice pictures. That is what, Highlands? Maybe?
That's
No,
Austin
that beach
Park.
is too
That's-
long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Austin Park.
Borax.
That's a nice picture, but I think if it were to blow up, it wouldn't, it'd lose the,
Yeah.
I like that one too.
Cute, huh? I love that we got more pictures this time with people in them, which is the goal,
Oh, that's so cute.
isn't it? That's fine. Got it.
Oh.
oh, that's
That's
cute.
too.
And that's Austin.
That's Pine, looks
Yeah.
like Pinedale? No. No, that's right in front of Clock.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's Canoga Harbor, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The parade. I think maybe I was off a little bit on the pictures.
Very nice picture. Well, it
Oh, go
reproduced.
back.
Oh, sorry.
That was at Red Bud
Got it.
Lunch.
Thank you.
Mhm. Already both there. I'm not eliminating very well.
you're not. I like that one.
That's definitely like
Mhm.
kids.
Cute.
That is it. It's like 4th of July.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. They really captured that in action.
Mhm.
Sorry, can you go back?
Yes.
I love the pinks.
I like this one. Very good. Ready? And where's this one in the actual email, it says it's in Soda Bay, so
Yeah.
we put that in the title. That's where they said it was. I mean, it's adorable.
All right.
Okay, so that's our contest submissions.
I have 24 finalists.
I was a little,
So
I have 8.
for,
Tina understood the assignment.
yeah.
I have 11.
Could-
Kind of us understood.
I'm 23.
There.
I
Can we do
actually
this,
am unlimited.
for the sake of time? I would love to, like, I just tried to rank them as I went. Do you mind if we take this offline and send you a
Yeah,
narrowed down version? If
absolutely.
you could share the folder with all of us?
Yes, I will figure out a way to share the pictures with everyone, maybe like a Dropbox or how you probably are a better expert at it.
You should put it right on
It's down to
OneDrive, right?
11. How's that?
Okay, good
Yes,
job.
but I don't know that everyone can sharing outside of the organization. I'm not sure how
You
to
should
do
be
that.
able to.
Okay,
We'll go through it after.
okay, thank you.
Well, excellent job, all the photographers, and of course, you for putting all this together. I think we have some really good ones here. Fish Guts is my favorite so far, but we'll see how it goes. Okay. I'd like to move on to item number 2. And just to narrow this down, we already heard an update on the fish statues. We heard an update about Halloween on Lakeshore Drive and with the various businesses. The only other thing that I think would be good to cover right now is the light pole situation for Halloween and for Christmas. Let's assume that we're not going to have the banners up for whatever reason. And if that's the case, what do we want to do as a replacement, a low-cost replacement to
Well,
spice up the
The
corridor?
problem
You
is
might
low
want to let your
cost.
3 o'clock know that we're gonna be running.
I
I don't know
had
if you
started
wanna do
looking
that or
up
not.
prices
Yeah.
of like
Invited several
Christmas
people.
items for and they're expensive. You know, you're talking per pole, at least $300-400. And how many poles do we have?
Right.
I'm wondering if during COVID to ask a business if they'd be willing to buy their thing, but we did that once before for the chamber, and I'll share with you, we bought Christmas decorations for all our poles that have disappeared. Businesses bought them.
Yeah.
Because I know I paid for the one in front of the pole in front of our business, but the chamber stored them and they're gone.
Okay.
So someplace or another, and that was those, yes, granted, it was 20 years ago, but still, they weren't, I think they were only used 2 years, and then they disappeared.
Okay. So do we have any, like, maybe lower cost solutions
So
for
what-
this go around or
What
something more
Lower
secure?
Lake did is they bought solar LED lights that wrap. So it means somebody would wrap them. And I can look into the price of we getting solar. And she says they last not quite all night. They put them up, I guess, last year in Lower Lake. I didn't see them. But they're little solar lights that would ring around the top in a Christmas type of design. I'd have to look and see how much. I'm going to guess probably you're probably still looking at $75 a lamp.
Really?
I'm going to guess for a decent sized solar system, that would be mounted on the lights that are Christmas, red, white, and blue, or something, or red and green, or something like that instead of just white. I don't know. If you want, I'll check into the prices and I can email them to you, Melissa, on what I find.
That would put us at about $2,000, $3,000.
Yeah.
One of the things that Bruno and I were talking about last year was just something simple, big red boats, getting them in bulk somewhere for, a couple $100 and just sticking them on each flagpole.
Well, like a Michael's or someplace like
Mhm.
that, a craft store.
And that, so if that's the three, so let's talk good, better, best, right? So the $3,000 option is a
If
very
we-
good idea.
Well, even if let's say if we could do bows and put cheap lights on them that are solar, something small that would just wrap around the pole. We can look at that and I can just, let me just get some prices. So, red bows and solar lights. I'll get an idea for you and I'll let Melissa know that she can send it out to everybody and see what they think. If there's a budget. But I do know the business has been asking because it was kind of the comment is, well, we've been promised that there was going to be something on those poles.
So yeah, if you can get the pricing for that, that would be great. For Halloween, do we have any ideas? Have we seen someone do anything for Halloween in other communities that has worked well? I'm not sure I've seen anything specific for Halloween.
Well, it's always been the little banners.
Yep.
The little Halloween banners.
Is there something we could at least do around Austin Park for trunk or treat and the school thing that you're putting together?
That would be cute, but again, those banners are not cheap. They're expensive.
Well, yeah, banners aside, like banners is a separate project that we'll be
We
moving
could
forward on.
possibly, I wonder if we can find orange bows even, something, if we're gonna do that. For orange. Bows. Or fall.
My only concern is just with timelines, right? Like,
Yeah.
This is September, our next meeting will be mid-October.
Right.
That's plenty of time to talk about the Christmas activities. That's gonna be too late.
But
to
if we got the
purchase
bows
anything.
up for around Austin, you wouldn't have to have a meeting on this, would you? Could you do it under a city council decision?
What are we asking the council?
If I found a price on bows for Halloween and could you ask under, I
I'm
don't
almost
know.
thinking,
Well-
bows kind of tie in with Christmas, but bows really don't have anything to do with Halloween. So
No problem.
maybe, what about like, what's that corn?
or corn, that's what I'm thinking, corn husks.
Corn, just tie it with raffia and,
Well, that's what I said bows, but I'm looking at something that would be inexpensive, as inexpensive as we can get away with.
Mhm.
I'll look, I'll see. The outfits has been sending the chamber, it's just outrageous in price. I mean, they're gorgeous, some of the items, but they're,
Brandon Hall.
oh my gosh, I just can't get over the prices they're asking for these items.
Okay, so if you find something that you like for Halloween, email me directly. I'd love to be in the loop on that. For Christmas, we can table it till next meeting and put together a more formal plan. Excellent. All right, and then moving to events of all, item number 3. The only thing I really want to cover here is the Kite Festival. Stephanie, you want to take the lead?
Well, this is from last month and not much has really changed. I've tried to get a hold of Toby several times and so this is where we are. I met with him and Joan was with and actually so was Bruno. It was an interesting meeting. Toby feels that the Kite Festival should be the one that's coming that we have scheduled. Should be more of a show and tell on October 9th and have professional, like 1 or 2 professionals come up and do their thing.
Okay.
And maybe have kids the kite flyers help the kids learn how to make a kite and then get them all hyped for in the spring. Now, the only caveat in the spring is, because we had sort of talked about April, but I have since found out that April is kite flying month. So would there be, and he hasn't gotten back to me on that.
And that has me concerned because he hasn't gotten back to, Stephanie has been trying. In our last meeting originally, and we had made arrangements to have several kite flyers come up and then they got canceled. So where he had one or maybe two coming and he hasn't confirmed that. In the meantime, to add to it, because we wanted to get kids down to the park. So my thought was it would be a good opportunity to teach kids about Halloween at the same time. So I had talked to Andrew about having the police there and doing just meet a police officer, meet the dogs, and share with kids Halloween safety. And then I talked to Willie, he'd like to come and do the same thing. And so my thought was we'd have the demonstration and then have kids come to the park to meet the police, meet the firemen, and talk about Halloween safety. I was trying to get the kids there. And I've talked to both Willie Saturday at the Soapbox 3. I'm talking to both Willie and Andrew. I'm saying, is it happening? It's happening. And I'm going, I hope we have some news by this meeting Wednesday, because if Toby doesn't follow through, I don't know, do you want me to still have the kids at the park? I've got at least the two agencies willing to be at the park, and we can actually promote it. I was going to ask Tina, would I have to take out a permit to do that? And that's another thing. Do we, since this is kind of the city event, do we have to take out a permit to have both the police and the
City
Fire.
event?
Well, the Kite Festival was started here at the,
It's kind of generated from us, but I don't think it's officially a city event. So we would still need to.
so is it the chamber event? That's what I'm.
Well, see, that was definitely not clear because, because my next question is, if we have an April event, we would need lodging for the professional kite flyers. Would the city fund this? Obviously, it sounds like no. We would have to get sponsors, I guess. And, and then we've talked about vendors for October 9th, hot dog sodas, T-shirts, possibly lamb printing, Canuck tees.
Well, and I don't know at this point because we don't have my concern, and I'll be honest with you, is if Toby doesn't follow through, we've contacted everybody and nothing's happening. And that I'd rather it not happen and have a failure than have a failure.
Yeah, me too.
So, I've, talked to people about it. I've tried, being the cheerleader and hurrahing it. But then I was asking Stephanie the other day so if this is a city project, are we going to be, will the vendors be charged? And are there going to be other things involved? And so if it's not a city function, if it comes to a chamber, then I have to get liability insurance. I have to pay the waiver, the permit for the park and all the other stuff that goes along with it, like we do for the 4th of July. So that's all needs to be known because we don't have a budget for this. It's not budgeted. Chamber event. And so maybe that also kind of threw me off.
Okay.
And then going on to we will need a MC and sound system. Can we get that through the city?
We can get that through PEG. I guess, so when putting these events together, we have to think of it holistically, right?
Right.
And all these things we can network and get access to. But, the goal with all of these events are to be revenue positive so that we're not having to go through the chamber or going through Rotary or going through all these things and sapping funds from their sources. We can't do these events revenue positive through sponsorship and vendors. Then we have to reconsider whether we even want to do it, right?
Right.
So,
Like the Soapbox Derby had sponsors.
But the nice thing with the Soapbox Derby is we weren't charged for spaces that you would if I have to go take a permit out, I have to pay the city for the permit. I have to increase my liability for the permit. And in doing so, I then have to charge sponsor spaces to coop for my lot and have their proof of insurance and all the other stuff that when you go through the health department, which is incredible now, the regulations that the health department have are unbelievably worse than they ever were. So it adds to if it's a city versus the chamber event.
Yeah,
And I don't mind it being a chamber event and the cost we can cover, but I couldn't do it by October. I mean, to do it by October 9th would be difficult now at this point because we're so close. And that's my fear. And I guess I wish by now Toby had answered because again, to get everybody there, if Toby doesn't show up.
well, and he and I had a conversation and he just was not available today and he didn't have any answers for me.
Right.
So,
All right, it seems like we have a few issues here. One, our rock stars not showing up to the concert, potentially.
Right.
Two, we're not in a space with sponsorship and vendors that this will be a revenue positive event. That at least we're not confident. it will.
Right.
So in terms of like permits and waivers and things like that seems like those are secondary because we haven't actually built out what we need to make this a successful event right now. Is that what I'm understanding? And then how would you guys suggest moving forward?
well, my suggestion would be to get it out there that we because of logistics, whatever we want to say, we're not doing it now and try and get this event going either in, and I will hopefully talk to him more about if is truly April professional kite flying month. And so the pros aren't available, or would they be available? And would they love to come up here then? Or do you make it like the last Saturday in April or the first Saturday in May? If we're gonna, and get sponsors. So I'm just curious, how did the city get the sponsors that did you just put out an ask to various businesses or?
For which event?
Soapbox Derby.
Yes. It took a lot of time to go out and get those.
Oh, yeah, I know that. Yeah.
I can imagine.
And it is funny because I think that I would like to see the kite demonstration happen, but maybe promote it, just promote it as a kite demonstration and nothing else, no vendors, that type of thing. And that way, if they don't show up, it's not as bad a oops as if, they did. Am I making sense on that?
Yeah.
I'm just worried. Failures are worse to me. I'd rather have a small event and have it successful than to blow it up and have it a failure.
I agree. And we haven't really promised too much to the public. We set a date.
No. Yeah.
I'm
So-
not even sure how much of the public even knows
Right.
about it.
So yeah, I think over the next week, if you can confirm with Toby
Yeah.
or whoever you want to demonstrate, we can pare it down to that. Let's go through the process of getting a permit anyway for that park, right?
Now, would
That
I
makes sense.
have to do it through the chamber or can the city do it? And since it's just a demonstration and the police.
So you're
and fire-
saying you still want to go ahead with the demonstration on the
Well,
9th?
well,
or-
here's what I'm saying. We're less than a month out. We should begin the permit process anyway. Because if it happens, we're already kind of behind the ball on getting that done. So let's get the permit in. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. If it does happen, then we have at least our ducks in a row. If it's just a demonstration, it's just reserving a park, right? Like,
Right.
it's not like we're going to have vendors and we're not going to
No.
have activities. We're just
No.
having a guy fly a park in a kite and having a guy fly a kite in a park. So
Who would be the umbrella though? Like Joan was saying, for the insurance and, the payment of the deposit and things like that.
So what are the associated costs with all that?
So the deposit of the for the park is minimal. It's $100 and the fee for a nonprofit is $35
Okay.
to hold an event. I mean, and then Alan has the ability, there's a request for a fee waiver of the actual park fee, not the deposit, of course, but the park fee within the application.
Okay. And then from an insurance perspective?
I don't know. We have a brand new insurance carrier. I can find out if there would be a problem with that since there's no vendors. It's just a demonstration. I don't think it'd be a problem.
Okay.
And as far as the $35, board member, would you think the board would mind with the $35?
No, I think not. They would
Okay,
not.
so I will start the permit process.
But is this event happening on October 9th? I'm confused.
Yes,
Here's the situation. It sounds like we don't know if it's going to happen, but we know it takes about a month to get a permit. That's what Tina said. She wanted her timelines. to be.
Right.
So I would rather get the permit in place. If it
Right.
doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but at least we're
Okay, so
set
it's-
up.
And I
thought
will
it
find
was
out
happening
from,
in April.
no,
That's
that's separate.
That's a different one. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm on board. I mean. can
so I
understand
will
that.
find out from Toby if it's going to happen.
The one in April, if what happens, what we are trying to do is, the Clearlake Chamber years ago used to put a kite festival on, and we had it in the spring. And we have we used the whole park. Matter of fact, we used the lakefront side, Austin's, and where the soccer fields are. And we had booths, we had music, we had everything. It was through the chamber, and the chamber put up we just reserved the entire area for the kites were done in different areas, and the vendors were all on the grass area, because then you couldn't have vendors in the street at all. It was, they were
Right,
on
right,
it.
right.
Yeah. So I'd have that. I think as soon as we hear from Toby, if there's a potential of getting, now we didn't do it with kite professionals at that time. This was just all local kite flyers. We just put it out there, and we had kids make kites, and the Chamber of Commerce sold kites. And that was one of the booths that was there. Toby had a booth there. He had a business here in town, and that's what started the whole thing is help us promote the business. We were trying to get more in because Bodega Bay has an incredible kite contest, and I think so does Mendocino, the city of Mendocino.
Yeah, I remember. our
Yeah,
discussion.
and but they have the built-in wind almost all the time.
Yeah.
We found the one year we had it, we have beautiful wind, and kites were in every tree. The next year we had it, we had no wind. And so you just never know in the spring what we're going to have here. That's the problem. We're not consistent weather-wise.
all right. That is, so it sounds like we have a path forward for that one.
Mhm.
Looking at the other events on here, I don't see action items that we need to execute on this month. And I think we all have enough on our plate for the next month. Anything we want to add from an events perspective before moving on?
I'd like to get a list, if you have them, of the concerts in the park for next year.
We're still in development on that. one.
Okay, so
That's why I was asking about the
yeah.
publication.
that's why I was thinking that we'd work on January. Once the map's sold out, which shouldn't take long. The map's already designed, so it's just a matter of building the ads around it and getting the calendar.
Well, and I was just thinking that might also, if we knew when the concert in the park, if April were not to work out, that might, because people do like to have an event. And I don't know, because I didn't go to I went to Soapbox Derby, but I didn't come back to the park. But the very fact that that the event is going to be at the park, and that's where the music is, that would just seem like a perfect marriage.
Right.
So the kids come and the kite flyers do their thing in the afternoon or
Except
whatever.
for I will share you as the 4th of July, for example. I walked back to the park just to see it, but none of the people were exhausted because we're down there at 7:30 setting up. and
Right.
you work your booth all day and then to go to the concert. And it's kind of the same with the soapbox derby, because I got there at 7, I started at 7 for the soapbox derby. By the time we were all done wrapping everything out, cleaning everything, putting it away, I didn't feel like going to the concert,
Yeah,
to be
right.
honest with you. And so that's the hard part about having them at the same time because believe it or not, a lot of your vendors are the ones that's also supporting you at the different events. You know, it's the same people. So just a thought on the concerts and
Mhm.
events. I know the reason for it, but
I think that was a situation of having it in 2 different locations. If we can stack them in the same area, I think you get, double the audience potentially for a vendor.
Right.
So.
yeah.
All right, I think that should be it unless anyone has anything else to add for events. Let's move to city manager report, city clerk report.
I don't have any report from Alan today.
Wonderful. Anything, we kind of did this at the beginning, but anything you two would like to add?
No,
No, now that I understand about, not thinking about, do we have any ideas, or is it going to go out in the news that we're looking for a replacement for Susan?
Oh, right. I did have something to report apparently. So, yeah, we've been really trying to get it out in the past few days. It's posted, but we're working on finalizing the press release and getting the word out on it. So it should be out by the end of hopefully today to kind of recruit. But again, if you know anyone that's interested, both for the Planning Commission and for this committee, the applications are on the website.
they
So,
won't let me put my name in for planning commission.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay.
All right, I think, future agenda items? Anyone have anything? Beautiful, all right, I call this meeting.
Yes, I don't know that I got the answer. So does the city have a sound system?
So PEG has a sound system.
Oh, PEG does,
that
okay.
We can rent from them.
Okay.
Yep. All right, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone. All right. John, what is your email? We keep talking.